I'm 56, and I don't know how long I'll get a chance to get let in through the front door before they kick me out the back door.
Tell you that electric guitars won't be making an appearance in Rick Astley's upcoming Swinging Christmas, a big band concert featuring swing and festive classics performing at the Liverpool Philharmonic and London's Royal Albert Hall. I'm delighted to say that Rick is with us now. Rick, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for joining us. And apologies, we have been playing Never Gonna Give You Up quite a lot on the station.
Don't apologise. Do never apologise for playing that song. It keeps me going, that song, so don't apologise.
But I have to ask, though, when you hear it, when you're waiting for an interview and you know they're going to play it, how do you feel? Do you go, oh, come on, guys? I mean, I've done a lot of other things.
I mean, I guess sometimes there's a split-second emotion of that kind of feeling of like, come on, can't you? But the other side of that coin is, like I said before, that song has kept me in the ball game a little bit over the years, especially the last few years. And so I kind of think, no, get it on the radio. You know what I mean? Let people remember it and remember who I am. Because, if I want to do new things and different things, then I have to rely on my history, if you want to call it that, to open the door for that,
So were you thankful when there was that period of Rickrolling? What was that meme that kind of appeared? What did you feel when that sort of came about?
Confusion, I think. I mean, let's be honest. I am in my mid-50s, and I'm not exactly of the age that grew up knowing and understanding how the internet works. I mean, I'm not sure anybody knows that today, to be honest, anyway. But it was all new, I think, for my generation, that whole thing of YouTube and all the rest of it. And because if you think about the way I grew up, and perhaps yourself, because I think, what are you?
I'm 50.
49, 50? 50,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. So, we are from an age where music still has the same emotion, I think, for a younger generation. But I think in terms of the ownership of music, the generation of today don't really have the same connection with it in that way. They do in the emotion of the music and what it does to them. But I just think we live in different times. And I think if you don't embrace it, you're going to get left behind. So I kind of think I've not embraced it too hard. I haven't hugged it too much, but I do give it a squeeze every now and again. And I kind of think that's important, to have one eye open on what is actually going on right now, So I feel privileged, if I'm honest, to have a song that younger people can even be aware of, let's say. Do you know what I mean? So
I can tell you, I was doing a program about scams not too long ago, back in the period where that sort of burst into the scene, the whole meme and the song came back. And I was working with a hacker, a white hat hacker. There's one of the good guys who liked to shut down scam phone centers, the ones that sort of target people. And he did that by rickrolling all their phone lines. So every time they picked up the phone in order to dial someone, would come up with Never Gonna Give You Up, and they had to shut down their phone lines for quite some time.
I love it. See, it's good for something eventually.
There you go.
Do you know what I mean?
There you go. But look, tell me about Swinging Christmas, because that's it must be fun for you to big band. How different is it to what you were used to doing, which is performing with the band behind you? Now you've got that big swing band.
It's completely different, to be honest. I have been lucky enough to do it a couple of times. I've done it with Ronnie Scott's big band, which is amazing because obviously they're so steeped in the history of all kinds of jazz and everything, but also those classic sort of just songs that our mums and dads used to sing, or certainly mine did. So that was amazing. But I've also done it in Copenhagen as well with the Tivoli big band there, Tivoli Gardens, which certain people will be aware of. And that was an amazing evening as well. So I've got a taste of it. And like I say, my dad used to sing Sinatra songs all the time around the house. So I'm relearning the words, by the way, because he sang very different words, but we won't go into that on the radio. I just really, really enjoy it. I mean, one of the things that I think COVID taught me, really, if you like, or it just pushed me to, was to say, when we do get the chance to go out and play again, I'm going to say yes to certain things and just dive in feet first, head first. Because I'm 56, and I don't know how long I'll get a chance to get let in through the front door before they kick me out the back door. So I kind of think, to do something like this. I mean, listen, the Albert Hall, I've sung at the Albert Hall quite a few times, amazingly. I've had my own gigs there, but I think especially in the 80s, maybe early 90s and stuff, the Albert Hall was used for more music events, even like the Brits and stuff like that. And I've sung there quite a few times. and I never, ever, ever get bored of it. Obviously, the Philharmonic up in Liverpool as well is an incredible venue, and I just want to kind of grab hold of those things because at some point, like I say, someone's not going to let me in the building, so I kind of want to
That's not
get
gonna
it done.
happen,
Well,
Rick.
honestly, listen, it happens to everybody. Don't fool yourself, man. It happens to everybody. So I just think I'm kind of embracing that a bit. We did a massive tour this year in America with three other acts, American acts, and I absolutely loved it, and it was great. But it's completely different to this. That was very much more like a show, a design show where you
Mhm.
go on, you do a few songs, another artist comes on, you come on a bit later, somebody else comes on, like a real kind of, it was amazing. It was really good fun. Saw a lot of America that I haven't seen for 25 years, and even some places I've never been to. So that was incredible. But like I say, I'm just up for embracing different at the moment and trying something new. And as I say, I have sung these songs before. Maybe not some of the Christmas ones because we're doing a few Christmas
Well,
ones because obviously,
tell me about the set. What are we going to expect to hear for Swinging
well, obviously
Christmas?
there's a lot of classics that Sinatra sang and that we all and no one's ever going to get near him. Let's face it. Michael Bublé does a good job. There's a few people who do a good job. Sinatra was it. He was the voice and that's it. But I think if you've ever sung anything, but also if you've ever sung any of those songs, you start to appreciate and understand how great he was. And it's nice to try and emulate that. I think it's just nice to have a go at it yourself. So there will be a lot of Sinatra classics, but we are going to do quite a few Christmas songs. Because I've been to the Albert Hall in their Christmas season, through December and been to different
Yeah,
carol services and different things.
the carol
And it's
service,
gorgeous.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gorgeous. It's really amazing. And if anybody listening hasn't been to the Albert Hall to see or do anything, and I'm not plugging myself, never mind me, I'm on about just get yourself there one evening and go and see a show in the Albert Hall because it's not like anywhere else in the world. And I've been lucky enough to play a lot of places in the world. It's extremely special. And to sing Christmas songs with a big Christmas tree on the stage and all the rest of it. And I just, and obviously London, I think, excels at Christmas. It's a really great place to be, London at Christmas. So yeah, I think, and the people that I work with, I think we just want to kind of embrace doing something slightly different. And this is obviously going to be very different for me, but yeah. So
Do you have to put a different brain on when you're doing this kind of concert with a big band behind you? Because also there's the sort of the banter in between the songs.
yeah.
There's the vibe. Do you have to sort of use different skills for yourself as a singer? And also assume that you're also wary of not going into a sort of a Frank Sinatra type of
Yeah, well,
impersonation.
I think that's the thing. I think, like I say, a lot of people have sung these songs, and obviously Robbie Williams, some years ago now, did an amazing gig there, and kind of really paid tribute, I think, to something that really meant something to him, and he could have perhaps gone on and done that again and again and again and again, but I think there's a fascination with this material partly because of how cool the Rat Pack were and Sinatra and all the rest of it. So let's not fool ourselves. That time ain't coming back. It was a different time. And I think they as characters, and obviously especially Sinatra, they were the kings of that world. He was the king of a couple of different periods in music.
Yeah,
Let's face it. He had his early career, and then
the
with
comeback.
films and different things, he had his comeback. Yeah, and I think for me, I'm probably more. I'd say I'm more in love with the comeback period. And I think that fascination as well with Vegas and certain records that he made in a certain time when it was just super cool. It was it's a bit like watching Goodfellas
Yeah, I think
when you sing those songs. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
And it's not just
for me, Live at the Sands is
yeah.
one of
I
my
mean
favorite ever
yeah,
records of all time
yeah.
because it's got everything. It's got
It
beautiful
has
songs, heart-wrenching
yeah.
songs, wonderful songs, and some great stand-up, great comedy.
Yeah, and Quincy Jones is in the room. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's like, what are you going
Yeah.
to do? So
Yeah.
it's an amazing. I think it's an amazing period of time in music when um, an artist was an artist for sure, and Sinatra definitely was that, and various people around him and at that sort of time. But they were just real characters, I think. And listen, every decade has great artists, great singers, great characters, and right now is no different. We've got some amazing singers, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but thankfully we've still got some amazing British artists as well that keep conquering the world, and that means something to me because as a kid when I grew up I loved a lot of American music, don't get me wrong, and some of my favorite singers are definitely from America. But I also think it was inspiring to think that somebody from Manchester, just down the road from me, had also conquered the world of music, and that meant a lot to me, because it gave you the belief it might happen to you. So I just think, yeah, I'm still in love with music. Basically, I think is the bottom of it. I still like doing it. And if somebody says to me, do you want to go down to a pub or a bar and just have a jam? I'm in. Do you know what I mean? I want to do that, and I also want to get up in the Albert Hall or an arena if I'm lucky enough to, or in front of whatever festival crowd will have me. Like I say, I want to grab hold of that. The live thing is so important, and I think that couple of years through COVID taught any crew member, musician, anybody who works in that world, and obviously theatre and all the different art forms. It taught us all when you've got the opportunity, grab it with both hands and try and enjoy it.
Well, Rick, thank you so much for giving me all this time. It's been an absolute pleasure to spend some time with you. You're on, let's tell people where they can find tickets. I think when they Google Rick Astley Swinging Christmas, I found it already.
Yeah, that'll do, yeah.
I found it already, but you're in Liverpool on the 13th and the Royal Albert Hall on the 15th and the 16th.
Yeah, I think Liverpool's already sold, to be honest. But yeah, so we're I mean, yeah, I'm so looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun thing. It's a really nice way to end the year. And also, I just want to say this, by the way, the quality of musicianship in this country is absolutely incredible. And when you get in front of a big band and a string section and my band as well, it's such a moving thing to be around that I can't wait to do it. I really can. So if no one comes, I'm going to enjoy it anyway.
I'm sure that's not going to be the case. It's going to be sold out and packed. Rick, thank you so much. Your passion for what you do is infectious, and I'm sure a lot of people will be gagging to come and see you. And I'm sure a lot of pub landlords now will be giving you a call to say, come down and sing at the pub, seeing as every gig is the one that you want to do. Rick Astley, thank you so much for giving us your time.
Cheers. Thank you.